Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Manzur Ahmed, lecturer history. Our today's question for 12th class students of history subject is: what were the causes behind the failure of the revolt of 1857? Dear students, as we know that the revolt of 1857 was the biggest challenge which the rule of British East India Company had to face in India during its 100 years rule from 1757 to 1857. We also keep this thing in mind that according to a number of scholars, historians, the primary purpose of the revolt started by the Indians against the British East India Company was to free India from the rule of British East India Company. But after fighting for about 2 years, for a couple of years in the revolt, the Indians were not able to free India from the rule of the British East India Company or from the rule of the British. Therefore, the revolt failed in its purpose. And there were some important causes, important reasons behind the failure of this revolt, which we shall discuss one by one. Number one, according to a number of scholars, the revolt failed because the leaders who fought against the British were mostly put into the revolt, were mostly brought into the revolt because of their individual grievances and individual problems. According to a number of scholars, historians, the leader of the revolt, Bahadur Shah II, was brought into the revolt, was made to lead the rebels, was declared the leader of the rebels by force. It is believed that when the rebels from the Meerut military cantonment reached Delhi and gave the slogans of Delhi, who were giving the slogans outside the residence of this Bahadur Shah II, he was surprised, and when he was asked that the rebels were asking him to lead them in the revolt, then he had refused to do so. But after some threats from the rebels, he had no option than to to lead the rebels in the revolt. So when the leader who was the leader, when the person who was supposed to be the leader of the rebels, who was taken into the revolt by force, then how such revolt was going to succeed as per some as which is an opinion given by a number of historians. These historians also say that the Bahadur Shah II, number one, was taken into the revolt by force, and number second, even if he took part in the revolt, was mainly because he was told that after his death, his two sons would not be allowed to sit in the Red Fort. They would not be called the rulers of India. They would not be called the Mughal emperors. They will just be given the titles of princes. Similarly, another important leader, Nana Sahib. Nana Sahib is believed to have come into the revolt because he was adopted by Peshwa Jivajirao II as his son. But Britishers did not recognize his adoption. Therefore, Nana Sahib started the revolt. It is also believed that Hazrat Mahal came into the revolt because he was not allowed by the British East India Company to install her 4-year-old son, her minor son, we can say, her minor son, Brijesh Kadir, as a Nawab of Lucknow, as a Nawab of Awadh. It is about Rani Lakshmi Bai. It is said that she came into the revolt because she was not allowed by the British to adopt a son. About Kanwar Singh, it is said that he came into the revolt because his zamindars and all lands are snatched from him. So we need to understand that the leaders who fought in the revolt, it is believed that all of the leaders came into the revolt because of their individual grievances. They did not come into the revolt with a single purpose of freeing India from the rule of British East India Company. They had individual grievances, that individual problems, and for these individual problems, they had come into the revolt. They had supported the revolt, and had the cause of the rebellion of the rebels, of the leaders of the revolt, been one, and that one cause should have been the free India from the rule of the British East India Company at any cost, then there would have been some success. But when the leaders of the revolt themselves are divided in their India themselves are divided in their causes of coming into the revolt. Themselves had no unified cause to come into the revolt. Then how such a revolt was going to get success? So this is the first cause of the failure of the revolt as per some historians. Number two, several scholars believe that a number of Indian rulers, chiefs, leaders like Sindhya of Gwalior, Nizam of Hyderabad, namely Salar Jung, the Prime Minister of Nepal, a number of zamindars, number of moneylenders, merchants, several Maratha rulers, this ruler of Kashmir, Maharaja Gulab Singh Dogra, all these people either actively supported British East India Company in suppressing the revolt or remained inactive or silent during the revolt. As a result, when a huge number of people in India remained out of the revolt or supported British actively in suppressing the revolt, such a revolt was going not to succeed. And it is often believed that Britishers after the revolt used to exclaim that had Marathas not supported British in the revolt of 1857, the British rule of India would have come to an end. The help of different Indian rulers, leaders, zamindars, moneylenders, merchants, several rulers gave confidence, gave courage to British East India Company and helped British East India Company in suppressing rebels. Number next, dear students, it is believed that the educated Indians were totally indifferent towards the revolt. They were not in support of starting the revolt because it is believed that these educated Indians, educated youth of India, believed that it were the Britishers who were bringing science and technology to India, who are bringing modern science to India, who are bringing modernity to India, and therefore it was not right, it was not good to start a revolt against these Britishers. No doubt these educated Indians also believed that Indians had problems, Indians had grievances, but they thought that for addressing these grievances we need to go to British officers, we need to go to British authorities. But for addressing these problems, these grievances, we should not have started a revolt against the British East India Company. So this educated Indian youth completely remained against a revolt and did not support the revolt. And when the educated youth did not support the revolt, such a revolt was not going to succeed. Number next, the superior and unlimited military weapons and machinery of British soldiers helped them a lot in suppressing the rebels who had inferior weapons and limited resources available with them. Number next, some scholars believe that lack of coordination and lack of communication among the rebels also. No doubt it is believed that there was coordination, there was communication, but the coordination that was required for such a great revolt against such a great power, that coordination, that communication was lacking, which ultimately this did not help these rebels to fight successfully against the British East India Company. And number next, it is believed that lack of leadership among the rebels was very important cause of the failure of the revolt. It is believed that none of the leaders of the revolt had great military genius, had war techniques and administrative qualities. Hence, the failure of the revolt was but natural. And these are some important causes as per a number of historians behind the revolt of 1857. So all these causes are debatable. Though all these causes are debatable, but a number of historians believe these causes broadly to be the causes responsible for the failure of the revolt of 1857. Thank you.